The desert wind never really stops in northern Chile. It whispers through the dunes, lifting grains of sand like secrets that refuse to stay buried. For centuries, those sands hid something older than the pyramids, older than recorded history, and far stranger than anyone expected. Dr. Elena Vargas stood at the edge of the excavation site, her boots sinking slightly into the dry ground. The Atacama Desert stretched endlessly before her, a place so dry that even bacteria struggled to survive. It was the perfect natural tomb. Another one, her assistant called out. Elena walked over, brushing sweat from her forehead. Carefully, the team uncovered what appeared to be a human form, but this was no ordinary burial. The skin was preserved, dark, tight, almost leathery. The body had been wrapped with remarkable care, the face covered with a clay mask. It looked ancient, impossibly ancient. "These are Chinchorro," Elena whispered. "Older than Egyptian mummies." The Chinchorro people had lived along this coast over 7,000 years ago. Unlike the Egyptians, they mummified everyone. Children, elders, even unborn babies. It wasn't about status. It was about something deeper, something emotional, almost spiritual. But this discovery was different. "Look at the skull," her assistant said, pointing. Elena leaned closer. There were strange modifications, not ritualistic, not decorative. Something about the bone structure felt off. "Get this one cataloged," she said, and send a sample to the lab. "I want DNA analysis immediately." Weeks later, Elena sat in a sterile laboratory thousands of miles away. The results were finally in. Dr. Marcus Hawley, a geneticist, stared at the screen in silence. "This doesn't make sense," he muttered. Elena leaned forward. "What do you mean?" Marcus hesitated. "The DNA doesn't match what? Anything." The room fell quiet. Marcus turned the monitor toward her. "We ran it against every known human genome. There are sequences here that don't belong to any human population." Elena frowned. "That's impossible." "That's what I thought," Marcus said. So he ran it again and again. Same result. A cold feeling crept up Elena's spine. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, whoever this was, they weren't entirely like us." The discovery shook the scientific community quietly at first. Papers were written, then rewritten, then quietly buried. Funding was pulled. Officially, the explanation was genetic anomaly, a mutation. Nothing more. But Elena wasn't convinced. She returned to the Atacama. Night fell quickly in the desert, bringing a silence so deep it felt alive. Elena sat alone near the excavation site, staring at the stars. The same stars those ancient people had once seen. Why did they preserve their dead so carefully? Why did they treat everybody as if it mattered? And why did this one feel different? The next morning, a storm rolled in, rare, violent, unnatural for the Atacama. The wind howled, tearing through the camp. "Elena," her assistant shouted, "you need to see this." Inside one of the storage tents, something had shifted. One of the mummies, the one with the strange DNA, had been repositioned. No one had touched it. Elena stepped closer, her heart pounding. The clay mask had cracked. Beneath it, the face was not what she expected. The features were human, but not quite. The proportions were subtly wrong, the eyes slightly larger, the cheekbones sharper. And then she saw it. The eyes, they weren't empty. There was something inside, a dark, glassy surface, reflecting the dim light. Elena stumbled back. "That's not possible." The tent fell silent. And then the mummy moved. Just slightly. A twitch, a shift of the jaw. Elena's breath caught in her throat. The footage was never released. The samples were confiscated. The site was shut down. Official reports stated that the findings were inconclusive. But rumors spread, whispers of ancient beings who lived alongside early humans. Not aliens, not exactly. Something else, something older. Years later, Lena sat alone in her apartment, staring at a single photograph she had managed to keep hidden. The mummy's face stared back at her, and in the reflection of its eyes, there was something behind her. She slowly turned around. The room was empty, but the air felt different, heavier. Watching